Okay, let's get into the unboxing of the battery. So it comes in a nice sturdy box like this, and on opening it you're going to discover a pamphlet giving you some information about the specifications of the battery, some helpful tips about how to set it up and recharging of the battery, and some storage and safety features of the battery here. So it's great to refer back to this pamphlet when the battery arrives to refresh your memory on the specifications. Also inside the box is the battery. The battery comes with a removable bracket to attach the battery, which we'll go through later, and this is what the battery looks like. Okay, let's get into the specifications of this battery. I'm putting all the details up on the screen here so you can refer back to the details during this segment of the video. So this is the Okin refined rechargeable battery. This end of the battery has the LED charge indicator, and the curvature of the battery can be seen here. The rear of the battery has a connection groove here for the bracket to attach it to, and the specifications are written here where you can refer back to those at any point. The base of the battery here. This end of the battery has the male and female 2-pin connection to recharge and connect to your recliner. The face of the battery, you can see the curvature here once again, and the connection slide groove also. So as mentioned, this is the Okin refined rechargeable lithium-ion battery for electric recliners. Model number is BS-17. Specification code is JLDP.11.014.000. So let's get into the specification. So the dimensions of this battery are 14 centimeters long, 7 centimeters tall, 4 centimeters deep. The cables are a male and female 2-pin connection, and the cable lengths are approximately 12 centimeters long. Country of origin is China, built to the German manufacturer's specifications and quality that you can expect from a German supplier, built in a Chinese manufacturing plant. The nominal voltage capacity of this battery is 25.2 volts. The storage capacity is 2,550 milliamp hours, 65 watt hours. That's a medium-sized recliner battery. The input charge for this battery to recharge it requires an AC/DC transformer or adapter with a 29 volt through to 35 volt output. So if your recliner at home is operated with a transformer that outputs 29 volts through to 35 volts, it's suitable to recharge this battery if it has 2-pin connections. The nominal discharge current of this battery is 3 amps. That means that if your recliner requires 3 amps or less to power it, this battery is suitable. This battery also offers a monetary discharge current of 5 amps. That means that when your recliner actuators first operate, they require a boost of energy up to 5 amps. This battery can cope with that boost. You can expect somewhere between 200 and 250 recline cycles from this battery in optimum conditions. What does that mean? Please refer back to our previous YouTube videos where we explain about the features of your recliner and how they affect the cycle count that you can expect from a battery. If you have a heavily featured lounge with lots of buttons, cup holders, lights, etc., you will not get 200 reclines out of this battery. In premium and optimum conditions, the battery is rated to 200 to 250 recline cycles per charge. Recharge this battery when the orange LED indicator comes on, or when you hear an audible beep. And if you don't get to that point, recharge it a minimum every 6 to 8 weeks. In our opinion, that's the best time to recharge these batteries for optimum lifespan. The battery manufacturer recommend minimum 3 monthly intervals. This is for interior use only, not to be used outside. This has an onboard battery management system that we'll run through later on in this video. Service life for this battery is 5 years. That's approximately 300 to 500 full recharges of this battery before the battery will expire. The battery has all relevant certificates for domestic use. This battery comes with a 2-year manufacturing warranty against manufacturing defects. So that runs through basically the specifications of the battery. We'll get into the features later on in this video, but if you're enjoying this video, please do give us a thumbs up, and if you haven't done so far, please do subscribe to our channel. It really does help us grow our community. Okay, so the features of the battery. It has an onboard battery management system called the BMS. But what is the BMS? That is the brains of the battery. So basically that's protecting the battery cells and the functionality of the battery. So it's monitoring the cells, voltages, current and temperatures. It prevents overcharging. So if you still have your battery charging and it comes to 100% charged, it will stop drawing power from the transformer and will not overcharge. It also protects against over discharging. So when the battery gets to 20% remaining charge, the battery will close down to protect the cells in the battery. Managing the cell balancing, this basically makes sure that when the battery is charging, all the cells are charging at the same rate and they're balanced. It provides protection such as short circuit, overcurrent and thermal safeguards. So this is a great feature for a premium battery. It helps safeguard about the longevity of the battery and it prevents it from damage. Another great feature of the battery is that it comes with a removable carriage to attach to the recliner, so you can hide your battery underneath out of view or put it into the arm of the recliner or wherever you desire. It's removable, you don't need to use it, but it attaches to the battery by sliding onto the grooves here. You can then connect the battery underneath and hide it out of the way for either recharging in situ or to remove it for recharging. You basically just remove the battery from the groove slides here. So this is removable, you don't need to use it. It requires 2 screws to attach it. They're not supplied, so you would need to supply 2 screws. Otherwise you can either leave it on the battery or remove it and just keep it in the box. Another good feature of the battery is that it has a retaining clip here on the connection to the recliner. So this is the female 2-pin plug. So we've mentioned these in our previous YouTube video. So a 2-pin connection is a needle pin and a flat oval plate or spade. It's called a 2-pin or OI connection or hi-fi connection. So they're the most popular connections for recliners, and it's worth checking your recliner at home. Check your transformer to see if it has the same type of connection plugs, and then you'll know it will fit your recliner. So this is the female plug. So the cable is 12 centimeters long. It has a female plug here that connects to your recliner and a retaining clasp here to lock the 2 connections together for a secure connection. That just lifts up like on a hinge here, so you can disconnect the battery at any point. Now the male plug is used for recharging, and on your transformer you will also have a lock buckle to lock the retaining clip down, and that will connect the transformer and the battery together for recharging. Other great features of this battery are that it has an LED indicator here. So when the battery is fully charged, it will be green. When the battery is getting low, it will go orange. When the battery has turned off and there's 20% remaining charge, the light will be red. When the light gets to orange, that means you need to recharge. There will be approximately 30% charge remaining. You'll also hear an audible beep, a high-pitched beep to alert you to recharging. So that's when you need to recharge the battery. Those are the features of the battery. It's a nice slimline design. It can sit nicely to the side of the recliner or underneath, or you can attach it under the seat, inside the arm, or wherever you desire. But that's basically the specifications and the features of the battery. We'll now move on to how you connect it to your recliner. So connecting the battery to the recliner is very, very simple. You don't need to be experienced, you need to have no qualifications, you don't need to be an electrician. It is plug and play. So very, very simple. So as you can see here, for demonstration purposes, we have the components of a basic recliner. We obviously don't have the recliner here, so we do have other YouTube videos where we have real recliners in real living situations where we're connecting the batteries to show you how they work. However, for the purpose of this video, we're showing you a mock-up of the basics of a recliner. So this is a remote control. You may have cup holders or switches on the side of the recliner. They're basically the same functionality. An AC/DC transformer or an adapter, and an actuator here that basically is what runs a basic recliner. So at home you may well have an AC/DC transformer like this that plugs into the wall socket via a mains plug like this, or you may have an adapter like this. This is an AC/DC adapter, so they're basically the same items, they just connect differently. So this one goes into the wall socket with the transformer on the plug. This one sits on the floor via a wall plug here. So these are basically connected to the recliner via the male and female 2-pin connections here. So you can just see they just connect very simply, push together, close the retaining clasp, plug it into the wall socket, and your recliner is powered through the mains power. But what if you're not near a wall socket, or you don't want to have cords and cables and boxes hanging under the lounge and across the floor? So you basically want to connect this battery. So basically lift the retaining clasp on the low voltage side of the transformer or the AC/DC adapter and disconnect the plug like so. You no longer need that until recharging. Grab your battery, locate the female plug with the retaining clasp. You then connect that to the recliner. So push together, male and female plug, very simple, close the retaining clasp. That connection is now made. That battery is now securely attached to the recliner, and you can press the button and it will work the recliner off the battery. So just so you can see that a bit clearer, you can close the actuator and open the actuator. This will be opening and closing the footrest on the recliner. This is coming from the battery, so the battery is now powering this recliner setup cordlessly. So that's basically how you connect that battery. I'll show you that again. So you can lift the retaining clip here, grab the male plug coming off the back of your recliner, whether that's hanging off the bottom or coming through the back of the arm, etc. You connect the battery by pushing the two plugs together like so. Just grab that again so you can see that much clearer. Male and female together, push together, close the retaining clasp. That is the battery connected. How do you recharge the battery when it's in situ? We have this male plug here. So you can leave it connected to the recliner, and you can then grab your AC/DC adapter or transformer, find the female plug from the low voltage side, and you can connect that to your battery here, close the retaining clasp, plug the transformer plug into the wall socket, and recharge the battery whilst in situ. So you can still use the recliner whilst you're charging the battery. That's absolutely fine. And you can leave them in this situation for a battery backup. So for emergency situations, so if you just want to run the battery as a battery backup, that you're keeping this plugged into the mains power all the time, and this is only here for if the power goes out as an emergency situation, so the recliner can close, especially if you have mobility issues or a relative that requires the chair to be closed or to elevate them to get out, and a power cut would be of real inconvenience. Using them as a battery backup like this in line is okay to do with this battery, and that's how that's done. So how does the adapter connect? It's the same as the transformer. So basically disconnect. If you have an adapter like this, goes into the wall socket with the transformer, you would grab the female plug again, line the pin and plate up with the female plug, connect them like that, and close the retaining clasp, plug that into the wall socket, and that's going to provide the power to the battery for charging until the battery is fully charged. Once the battery is fully charged, you can remove the AC/DC adapter and transformer. You no longer need those. This battery will then run cord-free for your recliner for up to 200 to 250 reclines in optimum conditions.